Hey guys, it's Pastor Bruce. We're in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 today. Because of pagan temple worship, the city of Thessalonica was gripped by sexual looseness and deviant behavior. The Apostle Paul responds to this by writing that the life which pleases God, and this goes for you and me as much as it did the day Paul wrote this, is the sanctified life, set apart for God's purposes and lived in accordance with His plan for our daily walk. When a believer decides to wade into promiscuity, they disregard the leading of the Holy Spirit and God's will. They are in fact rejecting God. Paul writes in verse 8, "Therefore he who rejects this," talking about this teaching, "does not reject man but God, who has also given us His Holy Spirit." Paul makes it very clear in verses 11 and 12 that the party life isn't the Christian life. That you also aspire to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, that you may walk properly toward those who are outside, and that you may lack nothing. With this we come to verse 13, and in the balance of this chapter, Paul is responding to questions which had arisen about what would happen to somebody who was a follower of Christ but had died. Did they have the hope of being with Jesus? Paul describes what we know as the rapture. Now, there are critics that say that the word rapture never is in the Bible, and that's not exactly true. Rapture is an anglicized version of a Latin word, which is a translation of the Greek word harpazo. Harpazo means to be caught up, and we find it in verse 17. "Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air." So, no, the word rapture per se is not in our Bible, but caught up is, and that's what rapture is all about. Paul gives the order. The dead will rise first, regardless of where they lived in the whole spectrum of the church. They will rise first. And then those who are still alive when the Lord returns in the cloud, they will go and meet Jesus and the others in the air. This should give you great hope. And in fact, that's what Paul writes at the end of this chapter in verse 18. "Therefore, comfort one another with these words." Whether you see Jesus come in the clouds or you've been dead for a year or 10 or 100 or 1,000, the promise is we will meet Jesus. God bless you as you go.